Woo! All right, here we go. So today I'm going to talk about combining like terms, distribution, and dealing with expressions. All right, this is a practice worksheet. In the description below, there is a free PDF version available. Just copy and paste the URL and go ahead and download that video, come on now. Download that handout and then dig in, see what you can do, then come on back and get some answers, all right? All right, if you're a teacher, feel free to use this in your classroom. It's a great way to have a substitute and be able to go through some math with your kiddos while you're not there. And I can go ahead and at the end of class, pop this video on and they can watch how it went. Okay, let's do it. This is combining like terms. It's a way to organize all of our categories. So there's a category of X, there's a category of Y, and then we have this last category, which is not a category at all, so we call it constants. Notice how there's no category with it. So those are called constants. To combine like terms, you need to have the same likeness, so in this case that likeness is X, and you just add or subtract the numbers in front. So 9 minus 2 is 7, and then the category is X. Positive 7 minus 2 is 5. Category is Y. 3 negatives plus 14 positives is 11 positives. Now, when you write your final answer, the order matters. Alphabetical should take precedence. And the constant term always goes last. All right, let's take a look at the next one. Here's some 5h's squared right here. Here's some negative 10h's squared, and here's some positive 4h's squared. Notice how I did not highlight the h's with my h's squared, because the exponents aren't the same. Also notice how I always take the operation that's in front of that term with it. Okay, let's combine some likely terms. 5h squared, so it's 5 minus 10. 5 minus 10 is negative 5. Negative 5 plus 4 is negative 1. So it's negative 1, and the category is h squared. 7 negatives and 1 negative is 8 negative. Category is h. 3 positives and 8 negatives. There's 5 more negatives than positives. Remember, when you have the same variable, now your exponents need to descend. When there's no exponent, it's an imaginary 1. So 2, 1, constant. You can show the 1 or you don't have to. Just like you can show that exponent of 1, but you don't have to. It's just implied that it's there. All right, let's do the next one. It's going great. This is b squared. This is b squared. This is a constant term, 9. Constant term, 20. And then I'm going to go ahead and combine these like terms. And then notice how I have that term. All right, so let's go ahead and combine those like terms. 6b squared minus 3b squared. 6 minus 3 is 3. Category, b squared. 9 plus 20 is 29. Negative 2 plus 11 is plus 9. Category is A. And then we got to go all the way down to the end to find our B's. Okay, so alphabetical order takes precedence. So A comes before B in the alphabet. Now I got two B terms. Because they have different exponents, I cannot combine them. They're not like terms. They're different categories. B to the second is not like B to the first. So I'm now going to go in descending order by exponent. So exponent of 2 is greater than an exponent of 1. And then the last thing is that constant term. All right, distribution. This is a great property. Take that 3 and multiply it by that 1m. You get 3m because 3 times 1 is 3. Notice there's no number in front. When that's true, it's 1. Positive times a negative is a negative, and 3 times 9 is 27. That term and that term are not like, so just make sure you write it in the proper form. Variable term comes first, constant term comes last. When I look at this, I'm going to do the order of operations. The order of operations is distribution, multiplication before any addition or subtraction. Negative times a positive. Negative times a positive. Now you just write the rest. It's a really good idea to stay organized. Organized is really important. One thing at a time, right? Don't try to be too cute. Just do one thing at a time. Then you'll make less mistakes. Let's combine our x terms. Negative 6 plus 6. Sorry, negative 12 plus 6 is negative 6. X. And negative 32 plus 24. That's negative 8. X term comes first because the variable term comes before the constant term. We're done. This is one of the hardest things for us to do, but this distribution is not the distribution of 11, but the distribution of a negative 1, right? So you're going to take that negative and distribute that through. The 11 just comes straight down. It's its own term. Negative times a positive is a negative a. Negative times a negative is a positive 6 plus 7a. I'm going to combine my likey terms now. I got this constant term right here and this constant term right here. And then I got this a term and that a term. 11 plus 6, that's a whole lot of 17. Let's go. Negative 1 plus 7, that's 6. Category is A. Hey, that's not the right form. Remember, your variable term has to come first. Woo, that's done. Okay, that was great. I hope you did good on that one. Let's see how you did on the rest, all right? This is called a variable expression because it has variables in it. When you see this word right here, evaluate, that means you're going to have to substitute in some values and simplify. The values you're going to substitute in are negative 2 for P and 3 for S. This negative 3 just stays there. It's being multiplied by the P, so I'm going to use parentheses to show that multiplication. Minus, I'm going to use parentheses here as well because I want to make sure I group all of P together and square it all. So I got to group the negative and the 2. Minus P times S. Now you can throw that in your calculator if you want and it'll spit out an answer. I like to simplify each term. That's a term, subtraction. That's a term, subtraction. That's a term. Notice multiplication and exponents do not separate terms, but subtraction does. Negative times a negative is a positive. 3 times 2 is 6. Minus negative 2 squared in parentheses. Negative 2 times negative 2 is 4. Minus negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. I threw the parentheses around that negative 6 just to separate the minus from the negative there. All right, 6 minus 4, that's a whole lot of 2, that's right. Minus a minus right here, that makes a plus. 2 plus 6 is 8. All right, let's do it again. So 2, notice how x is negative 5, use those parentheses. Muy importante. Like so and like so. Order of operations says square that negative 5 first. Negative 5 times negative 5 is 25. Minus 3 times negative 5 is negative 15. Times 4 is negative 60. 2 times 25 is 50. Minus minus is a plus. We're going to add up all these things. That's 110. Let's go. All right. B equals negative 8. I'll fix that before I go ahead and upload this. All right. But I have an A value of negative 1 and a B value of negative 8. So substitute those in. 2 times negative 1 times negative 8 over the negative of negative 8. That was tricky right there. All right, simplify the top and simplify the bottom separately. So I'm going to simplify my numerator, that's the top, and the denominator, that's the bottom. This is 16. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. Negative 2 times negative 8 is a positive 16. Negative negative makes a positive. 16 divided by, fraction bar means division, is 2. We're done. All right, given the following expression. Wow. Simplify using distribution and combining like terms. Okay. The 10 comes down, and what you're going to distribute is you're going to distribute that minus W. So W times W, well, first of all, a negative times a positive is a negative. W times W is W squared. Negative W times positive 7 is negative 7W. Negative W, oh, that's the end of that. Now I keep writing it. Plus 4W minus 9. Look at these like terms. I got this term and this term. They're like. I got this term and this term. They're like. Then I got this lone W squared. All right, so 10 minus 9 is 1. Minus W squared. Negative 7 plus 4 is negative 3W. Let's put it in the proper form. Exponents decrease from left to right. Ooh, let's go. Now I'm going to let W be negative 3. So negative W is negative 3 squared, right? Minus 3. There's a lot of negative 3s, yeah? Times negative 3 plus 1. That negative comes down. Negative 3 squared is negative 3 times negative 3 because it's in parentheses. You really got to see the difference between these two things. It's really important. This is the negative of 3 times 3. This is negative 3 times negative 3. So it matters. This is negative 9. This is positive 9. Okay? So whenever you substitute in, always use parentheses because you want to square all of W, the negative and the 3. So that's 9 because negative 3 squared is 9. This came from there. Negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 9 plus 1. That negative makes that positive 9 a negative 9 plus 9 plus 1. This turns into a whole lot of 0 plus 1 is 1. Let's go. That was good stuff. Good stuff. Stay strong. Do math every day and you will get good at it. Believe in yourself and believe in what's possible. And everything will go well. It will go well. All right. Have a great day. Have a great evening wherever you're at. And get a good night's sleep. Eat well and study hard. All right. See ya. Have fun. Bye.